some reason. Get.
We're streaming, so let's get. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the authors. Any content provided by our bloggers or authors are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, municipality, individual, or anyone or anything.
He's a surgeon. He's a 100-ton boat captain. He's a lieutenant on Seaside Heights Beach Patrol in New Jersey. He's a member of the Coast Guard Auxiliary. He's Dr. Michael Kachmar. Need answers to your medical questions? We have them. Listen in to hear latest on medical topics related to all that and more.
Minimize it. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Michael Kachmar. How is everyone doing today? Thank you for joining in. I am Dr. Kachmar, board-certified reconstructive foot and ankle surgeon. We have a medical political show. Today's date is, what's today's date, Jeremy? Today's date
Monday, November 11th, 2024. It's a brand new world now.
The year of our Lord,
My buddy.
the year of our Lord, 2020.
Now, do you feel better
4 AD.
today since
Yes,
last week?
yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Everything's changed. The whole world's changed. Just change this camera here a
You
little
had
bit.
some hope.
Can you move this camera a little bit for me, Jeremy? Just center me. There you go. So let's say hello to Jeremy. Jeremy, could you say hello?
Hey guys, how you doing? You know me,
Yeah.
your old pal Jeremy.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, we had a little shaky start up here. We
Now the program's always update, and then everything goes
move your camera a little
screwy.
bit. Yeah, this
you
is a
know.
live show, so it's a little bit. We're not Joe Rogan, professional,
no.
but we try to do the best we can. So let's just start with the elephant in the room. This election. My opinion, what happened is that.
How did you find out, for one? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
This is kind of like, where were you when John Lennon died? So how did you find out? Were you up all night?
Yeah, I was up all
Or
night.
did you find out the next
No,
morning?
no, I was up all night. I knew. I tell you what, go back. You could go on my Twitter account.
Yeah.
I was predicting he was going to win. I know everybody says that, but I had a really good feeling
No,
that
you
he was
did.
going to.
You did.
And I didn't realize.
I cornered you last time,
right.
and I asked you straight out, who do you think is going to win this 100%? You said Trump.
Yeah, but I didn't.
I was afraid.
No, I wasn't afraid. I didn't know though it was going to be at the level, the mandate. But here's the thing: the American public rejected. Majority rejected the democratic, socialist / communist policies. That's what was going out there. If you really look at everything, open borders, the United States is racist, all this shit, which they still believe. That resoundingly was said no. And I just listened to our senator of New Jersey, Cory Booker, basically the resistance, and we got to go after him. First of all, Mr. Booker, almost half the New Jersey population doesn't agree with you. And why don't you embrace Trump? And why don't you embrace what the American people want? And I tell you, I'm the last time I heard about him was October 7th. Supposedly, if I remember correctly, he was over there in Israel, trying to work on the Abraham Accords, right, which was supposed to bring peace to the Middle East. That really worked out well.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I don't want to get down on him because I could care less about him. Hopefully, we'll get a different senator when the elections come up because, as far as I'm concerned, it's a different world now. Having said that, I want to mention this is Veterans Day. And here's the thing about, I appreciate all these veterans, and my father and uncles were all veterans.
My father-in-law is a Vietnam veteran, and he's just an amazing man. He's one of my heroes.
So what I want to say is this. I listen to Sean Ryan's show, he's a former Navy SEAL, and Eric Prince, and all these people. And they all talk about what happened in Afghanistan, how we left, and people are pissed off, and and a lot of them question why we fought. Was it necessary? Same thing with the Vietnam War. Was it necessary? And I'm going to say to all the veterans out there, and this is there's about 14 veterans a day committing suicide. I'm going to say to all the veterans, it wasn't a waste. It wasn't for naught. You know what? They fought. You fought for us. For me, my children, my grandchildren. You fought for the flag. You fought for the Constitution. You fought for the Bill of Rights, and you know what? You got a big thank you Tuesday. The American public thanked you.
We showed you what you were fighting for.
And and talk about the veterans too, and all the people who are dead. And we talk about Section 60 especially Section 60 in Arlington National Cemetery, where all of the military people from Iraq and Iran, Iraq and Afghanistan, they are buried there. So that's the thanks. The American people just gave you a big thanks.
For the ones that have committed suicide, God bless you all. There is a place in heaven for you. You were heavily damaged, and heaven is going to welcome you with open arms.
And we're going to show something else to all of these people in this country. This is a $20 bill. $20 bill.
Is that Jackson?
Yeah. Look what it says on the back. In God we trust. So as Steve Bannon says, go suck on that.
Yeah.
This country rejected atheism, rejected this democratic, socialist, communist manifesto policies. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox.
They're telling us to touch grass. And I hate that fucking term.
That ain't gonna happen.
And we're touching cash.
All right, so
That's
listen.
what it is.
So listen.
God we trust.
I'm going to talk about two elephants in the room real quick. And I don't want to spend too much time on this because I think it's bullshit. There's some people saying on the internet there's 20 million people who voted 2020 didn't vote this time. Maybe they never existed. So leave it at that. If you guys are so pissed off, then go investigate it. What happened?
We had a lot of issues that last election. If you remember, overnight, a whole crapload of mysterious votes dropped.
Right.
Maybe those are the millions you're seeing went missing. Yes. Because now we're seeing an election that wasn't rigged. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so you're counting up numbers that you pretended were there the last time.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now, the next thing is... so that's a very good point. The other thing is, are you guys election deniers now all of a sudden?
That's it.
Oh my God, we got thrown off the. I could not for years on this channel right now say anything about election integrity. Yeah. I would be shut down. I was shut down. I was shut down for medicine. You couldn't talk about January 6th, which is was not an insurrection. Yeah. Okay. You couldn't say anything about ivermectin, or corona, right? They'd be thrown off the internet, and you couldn't say anything about the election. Well, you know what?
You couldn't even ask.
Right.
What was in the vaccine?
Right. So what? Listen, why don't we throw all these people? Yeah. Which I don't recommend this. I'm all for free speech, but imagine now if they get thrown off Twitter and YouTube because they're saying this election was rigged or some shit like that. Oh, we couldn't do it. And what happened?
That was a spectacular loss.
Right. And Jeremy, another thing is what happened with the all these people who said the 2020 election was the most secure.
Horseshit.
Wait. But listen, they all said it, the most secure, no fraud in history of mankind. So in 4 years, you told me it went down the tubes that quick?
Yeah. and if that's the case, where were the investigations of all of the the China machines that were running the
forget about
thing.
that. Don't even go down that rabbit.
That's my point. They're going to be going to calling us or themselves. They're going to be
hypocrites.
Election
They're hypocrites.
deniers.
Right. Anyway,
and you know what? What goes around comes around, folks, and this is coming around.
Okay.
Like a effing bullet.
Okay. So here on that thought now, everyone.
Yeah.
So now, the next president of the United States. Donald J. Trump, has this
the president-elect. Let's
right,
say
president-elect. Now this is something I want. We're gonna go, as they say, go to the video. So Jeremy, you got to push down. Go to my iPad there.
Right there.
And I'm gonna play this for you guys. Okay.
This is beautiful.
And this is great. So we're gonna listen to it a little bit. Bear with us. Hopefully the audio is pretty good.
All of us pundits
right.
that
Ready?
We're fighting for our freedoms of speech. This is
listen
what Trump
to this.
is doing for us.
Right.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple. Just like dominoes, one by one, they'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis- or disinformation.
Which is not such a thing.
And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now.
You know what that is,
to the
preservation
Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship. Third,
right,
upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big...
Go back to, no, don't mute it. Okay.
Business.
Okay, you can mute it.
From now on, digital platform.
Yeah, good. So anyway, I want to shut this off here. I want to make a point about this. First of all, people say, what's the big deal? And we don't want it to play through. So just go see where it says, okay, that's fine. A couple of things I want to make a point here, Jeremy, is that he's saying two things. One is, first of all, our civil rights were violated. Remember when we were talking about ivermectin, or we talked about the election? They shut us down. They took us off of YouTube. So basically what they did is they, denied our civil rights. So we should be able to sue the federal government for our civil rights, being disqualified or being tamped down or being reduced. Our civil rights were offended. Now, the other thing he's talking about, which is very powerful here, he's saying preserve your evidence. Okay? So basically he's saying there's a criminal investigation going to start, specifically where the government, United States government, went to the platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and forced-armed them to violate our civil rights and our First Amendment speech. That's huge, Jeremy. That's huge. What was your?
No, I mean just the actively and aggressively charging these people and going after them. That's what we needed, because the last time around, when there were promises of Hillary getting arrested and thrown away, but she ended up getting pardoned.
Right.
That was the biggest mistake then, I thought. Now he's learned his lesson, and he is putting them all against the wall, because that's the only way you're going to see significant change in our government. Get rid of them all, and then rebuild.
Well, let me ask you something, Jeremy. You do the show with Barbara Schneider. How many times was she shut down, and on how many platforms?
Oh, constantly. Facebook, several times. On YouTube, I all but gave up on it for the longest time.
But Jeremy, let me make a point here, because I think that if any of our people who are listening to us don't understand, or even know that. Wait, but let me finish. They don't know that we were taken off. That millions of people were censored. We're a little mom and pop. We got 100 people watching us.
We're small potatoes.
And but I still have civil. I'm a citizen of the United States of America. I was born and raised here. I paid taxes all my life, millions of dollars in tax. My father, my uncles fought in the wars, and what happens is that my civil rights were taken away. Trump's civil rights were taken away. They just think about it. Go step back a million miles. They censored. Twitter censored a president of the United States. How dare you? That is just so un-American.
See, now it's time we go back and we sift through all the little crimes that built the big mess that we ended up with. We start there and we start tearing down their foundation, right? And the rest will just crumble. And so this is really a brave new world. People are saying that all over the internet.
Okay, good.
No, I like it's like Batman.
Your cameras, but So Jeremy, but you with your shows that you were doing,
with Dr.
you basically thrown off YouTube.
Dr. Schneider, this is some of the stuff we got thrown off for.
Because people have to hear this. This is
during COVID. All right, now Dr. Schneider is a medical doctor. She was advising her patients to stay away from the vaccine because she didn't believe in it, and she never has, and she still hasn't.
Right.
And since then, we've found that there was some stuff going on.
Maybe she was right, right? Maybe she was right.
But she would get kicked off of YouTube for medical misinformation. Yeah. That's the word.
Right.
There is right there. Medical misinformation, and she's a freaking doctor. You're a doctor.
Here's the thing about that. I want to make a couple points. First of all, that's a great thought.
Yeah.
Number one, there is no such a thing as disinformation, misinformation.
Something made up.
You got truth and untruth.
Right.
And on the untruth category, you have propaganda, you have lies, you have untruths, you have doublespeak. And go look at doublespeak is right out of George Orwell. Okay, so and by the way, I just want to. Elon Musk had a hat said, "Make Orwell fiction again." So you got now. Here's the thing: people say to me, "Oh, Michael, Dr. Kachmar, we thought it was not appropriate information back then." Yeah, we're wrong. We're proven to be wrong. But even though we should have the right to censor people's speech. Right? We talked about this. That's where
this is where it went wrong. Okay,
you can't censor people's content.
You have to understand that if I'm an individual, I'm a citizen, a sovereign citizen in this country. Right? What I decide is right and wrong is a very personal feeling. With disinformation and misinformation, they took it away from us. It's no longer personal, and they attacked it and they took it away.
Great insight, Jeremy.
Yeah,
I like that, and that's the common man on the street, which is Jeremy. That's why I have him here.
Common.
He's the common man. You're Joe. You're Middle America, and that is so true. Now, I hope we talked about this, but free speech to me is a fundamental right, and you could modify time, place, and manner, but not content. Anyway, circling back to
before we circle back, but with all of this stuff with our families and our children, it was all personal. Everything was. It was all on a personal level, and they ignored it or they just tossed it in the trash.
I got taken off YouTube. My one show, I said, all I said was this: my aunt who didn't have the vaccine, wasn't available to her. I don't think. She wasn't even available. She got corona right around, maybe November of 2020 when it first came out. The first time we saw it was in March. I think she got it around, wintertime, September, October, November, in there. They gave her ivermectin, and they gave her sequential multi-drug sequential monoclonal antibodies. Remember those?
Yes.
She turned around. She's 75 years old. She didn't die. She wasn't hospitalized. And it saved her life. She would have died.
And if you remember the news back then, Biden had taken all of the monoclonal
and got rid of
antibodies and just stored them away. You can't have this.
Right.
You're doing it our way. Now, another thing, just to solidify what I said earlier, forcing people to get a jab or they lose their jobs, that's personal.
Right.
All of this stuff that they did to us is personal. And the thing that bothered me the most is that we weren't seeing this reflect on our American citizens, but they freaking came out in droves. To correct it. Yes. So you can only push people, and you can only take those personal stabs so many times. And people are going to finally, like you said, if with the vigilantism and stuff, if the people are unhappy, they will rise up and speak.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that my aunt, I said on the internet, my aunt took the monoclonal antibodies, and because I said that, which was fact, and that she did get better, which is fact, she's alive right now, they took me off the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, they censored me. And
and
the other thing is also,
domestic terrorist.
Also it became, we say personal. DeSantis started using the monoclonal antibodies because he could buy them, the state could buy them, and they were giving it to people. And a lot of people were were getting better or never even got corona because those monoclonal antibodies in the beginning gave you about 6 months of immunity. Okay, but when Trump got out and Biden won, Biden shut it down. He defunded it. He took over. Mr. Biden, President Biden and Harris took over the distribution and manufacturing of the monoclonal antibodies. Okay, and they shut it down. Now, how many people died because of that? Circling back, looking at that, I posted many times. I tried to. What happened with that? They'll shut me down for that. Questioning the monoclonal antibodies.
You can't even question it. You can't even
mention it. Now, I'm going to tell you let me finish this too. Personally, during that time, I was operating on patients. I didn't stop operating. I had trauma. I would go in. I took care of people who had corona. I had no vaccine, okay? But I took care of these people. You know what I did with these people who, when they got out of the hospital and they got corona? I sent them down, it's my phone, I sent them down to the hospital. All the hospitals had little tents outside. Yeah. And you were able to get infused, it was an IV, of sequential, which means multi-drug, more than one drug, sequential, one after the other, monoclonal antibodies. And all my patients I sent about 12 patients. They weren't vaccinated, but they had like ankle fractures or foot fractures, and I had to take care of them. They all turned around. And some of them called me up and said within 24 hours, 12 to 24 hours, they were like unbelievably better. Why didn't we push that? Why? And why was I not allowed to talk about it? The other thing is, we have the Plaquenil. Now, again, this is all personal stuff. My brother is on Plaquenil for his arthritis. My brother has, and he had corona, he never died. Right. I don't want to give all about his medical history, but he has,
problems.
So my point is that, and the other thing that came out, and we could talk about it, and they want to take me off now. Go ahead, go ahead. Yeah. But they
go ahead because Trump's coming for you.
Right, go ahead. Take me off. Trump had 350 million doses of hydrochloroquine, which is Plaquenil, ready to go for the United States population. And you know what happened? His FDA guy, Salazar, whatever, right, who is supposed to listen to Trump, at the last minute said, "No, we're going to give it to only patients who are on their last dying breath. That's where we'll give the medication." How many people died because of that?
Well, that pisses me off.
Did you know that?
No,
and tell me.
I never thought of it.
I tell everybody out there. I tell everybody out there. Fact check me. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize.
That fucking pisses me off.
And here's the thing. People don't remember history, but now with this internet and everything, we remember history. Yeah. So are we pissed? Absolutely. Do I want revenge? No. I want justice. Here's what I want. I want peace. I want prosperity. I have dislike.
Prosperity. Yeah. You're fucking me up.
I know.
Yeah.
Right. I want liberty.
Yeah.
And I want justice.
And I want tolerance as well.
Yeah.
That's a big word we have to add in there.
Tolerance.
Tolerance keeps us kind, at least.
Okay. Now, now let's do a little levity here.
Okay.
Okay. I just want, because we got one more with Trump, but here's the thing. I just want to say something about something with Donald Trump. The guy's a marketing genius.
Oh yeah.
So I want to start with this. When I was listening to his one rally, and he's going, "They're eating the cats." I was like, "Don't say that." And then that went viral.
But the crazy thing is that it's like the left.
They are.
The left use that. Like, look at this fucking more. And then he says it. And we love him more for it.
And then on the internet, I see like memes with like this one picture. They had the cats with the hat on, "Make America safe again." And then there's like a bunch of cats on the stairs, and you can hear in the background Trump going, "They're eating the cats," and the cats go. then he's at McDonald's. I love it. He's giving friends.
Yeah.
And then when Biden called everybody garbage, he's in a garbage truck which says Trump on it. I mean, genius. I mean, I'd vote for him just for that.
That's great, man.
It was great marketing, and then and then what she had,
and that was all him churning away after getting shot in the head.
Right. When she brings up, and I'll tell you what, did you hear too that her campaign, they had $1 billion,
and
they're in the red,
and they're still in the red because
well, how much did they pay Bruce Springsteen to sing and those other losers?
God, did you hear him sing?
No, I don't listen.
No.
You couldn't pay me to go see that guy.
Yeah, me neither.
And the other one, who's that? Carly. I listened to that. How do you pronounce Carly B? What's her name?
Cardi B.
Oh man, you listen to her? Whoo!
She is so fucking uneducated. Yeah, like she is uneducated.
Listen,
and all the little teleprompter snafus, whether it be with Harris or with Cardi B, were fantastic.
But Jeremy, it's almost like, I tell you what. Part of me, you want to talk about conspiracy?
Yeah.
I tell you what. I always put myself in, if I want to do something, like how would I do it? If I was the Democratic Party and I really wanted to lose, I would have done exactly what they did. I would have her, she was not popular. I would get that other guy, Tim Walz. I mean, talk about.
Yeah,
then I would have.
She just threw a dart in the crowd,
and then I would talk. When they ask her, "Hey, would you do anything different?" Nothing comes to mind. I mean, it's almost like maybe everybody sat in the back room, Trump and Biden. They say, "Okay, you're going to be the president now." It's almost like part of me sometimes thinks that.
That $1 billion.
I'm being satire, but it's just amazing.
That $1 billion. How much of it went to anything, or how much of it went into her pocket?
I don't know. I don't know.
But
they pissed it away on bullshit.
All those celebrity endorsements they paid for, right? Mm-hmm. And got these celebrities just like tearing everything apart. The one thing I find a blessing, okay?
Yeah.
Is that I did not get to see Steve Colbert do that ridiculous victory fucking dance he did the last time. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It looked like he was like rerun from What's Happening.
Well, one thing is going to be, I tell you what, one thing is going to come good out of this election, I think, is that the legacy media, and I'm talking CNN, and even Fox, all of them, they're done. They're done.
Dude, Hollywood's done.
Hollywood's done.
No. And right now, Hollywood's blaming George Clooney because he did, hold on a second, he did an op-ed.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
Yeah. But they're going at each other like freaking jackals, and more is to come in the coming days.
Well, they could go after each other, but from my perspective, I never listened to them anyway. When you had Taylor Swift, who is a billionaire, flies around in a private plane, has a mansion on the hill, saying she's going to support Harris, and everybody's like, "Oh, she has 250 million subscribers."
Did it work, Mike?
And I wouldn't know, but on the internet, I said this. You go back and look at my ex post. I said, "Don't be just that stupid." At least half the people who listen to Taylor Swift, they're going to vote for probably Trump. They're not all, I mean, that's just so funny.
Yeah,
but
and a large portion of those people are underage and can't vote yet.
Nah, there's a lot. I don't know about that. I don't know. There's a lot of women. There's mothers and don't go down that road. But here's the thing. To think that all these people are going to vote for these Hollywood stars, they got a big slap in the face. You're not that important. Nobody gives a shit.
Mark Hamill.
All of them. Bruce Springsteen is worth $500 million.
I always thought.
What does he have in common with you and me?
I always thought his singing was like gargling razor
No,
blades.
no, he's great.
No, he's not.
Well,
the
back
other
in the
day when he was singing, it was he couldn't hold a tune if he had a bucket.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to go after them personally. Like, no, I'm not going to say they're shitty. Listen, Bruce Springsteen in the day was like unbelievable. His music is iconic.
This is the great part of our freedom of speech now. We can talk about
right. But I'm not going to. To me, don't go down to their level. Here's what we need to do.
No, I don't think
what's even better. Even better. You want to
just enjoying my normal freedom of speech.
You want to piss him. Well, it's good. You want what he'll be. You know, he'll piss those people off more. Not saying, you're not that great talent, because that's subjective. But you know what? The reality is, what's been proven is that their endorsements didn't mean diddly squat, which means they're not that important. That's a fact of life.
Which means that people don't actually care about Hollywood celebrities.
No, that's what I'm just saying.
They don't.
Yeah, right? No.
Like what a waste of freaking money all that was.
Well,
it didn't work.
But anyway, I think that the free speech thing.
Cardi B.
So when they wonder why people voted for Harris, didn't vote for Harris and voted for Trump, there's multiple things, and I could tell you, free speech was one of them, because a lot of us garbage were censored. And I want to make one other point, which is very interesting, where I thought we talked about this we talked about on our show. So back in the day, back in the 60s, you had Crosby, Still, Nash and Young, and you had Neil Young, sideburns, frayed coat.
Oh yeah, he turned.
But wait, listen. He was a rebel. He was anti-government, anti-man, anti-war. Okay, but no, this is a lot of people were. But listen, follow me in this. The National Guard killed 4 college students, unarmed college students in Kent University. Okay, so he wrote about that, reeled about it. He was, and nobody busted. He was basically, if you want to talk about, disinformation, he was a rebel. He was going against the mainstream's doctrine. Everybody's saying the Vietnam War, we're winning it, everything's great, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now, cycle back to 30 years later during Corona, right? And remember when Joe Rogan was on his podcast talking about ivermectin, and he's on Spotify. Who also was on Spotify was Neil Young. He had a large amount of his, and he said, "Wait, stop." He goes,
Joe Rogan, in regards to what you're saying, I think Joe Rogan actually filmed himself getting an injection.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, but yeah, right. But let me finish this thought. But Joe Rogan was talking about ivermectin. Neil Young wanted him thrown off of Spotify, or he was going to take all his music off of Spotify. Why? Do you remember why?
No.
He said because it was disinformation.
Oh, that's right.
Whoa. So he, back in the day, was theoretically, if you want to use that word, disinformation, he was a rebel. And he made millions and millions and millions. Nobody shut him down. But now he's worth, whatever, 500 million, 200 million. Now he's the man. This is why this country's so flip-flop, Jeremy. Do you understand? That's you, Bruce Springsteen.
He's
Howard Stern.
The man?
Howard Stern was a rebel. Howard Stern, back in the day, he was a shock jock. He went against everybody. Yeah. Now he's supporting the Democratic, Socialist, Communist left.
Sold out. That's what you do.
So well, there you go. Okay,
you can be the shock jock and on top of the world, but eventually that peters. And then what are you going to do?
You need that much money.
You got to sell out.
You need that. So
It's not just the money; it's the relevance as well. They need to still feel a part of the world and be a significant voice in it.
Right.
So
I can tell you. Well, listen to me. I boycott. I will not watch a movie. I'm going to tell you this right now. I cannot watch a movie with Bruce Springsteen or any of these people. The music, I'm sorry, it gets me sick. I can't watch with De Niro. I will never watch.
Oh, De Niro can go F himself.
I will not watch. I don't care. They might take that shit off of reruns, because I tell you what, half the United States is not going to watch that shit, because when they see him on the screen, they're going to get nauseous.
You know what?
Good job.
This is a good time. We've been
Go ahead.
talking about.
We got to do this other one on
Yeah,
Trump.
I know. We're gonna squeeze this in before that though.
Yeah, get it. Oh, you want to show the thing with?
Yeah.
Oh,
because
this is great.
We've been talking about all the negativity.
Before you do it,
Yeah.
just prime it up.
Build it up.
We got something great for you guys.
We've been talking about all the negativity.
I love this,
in the after the election.
You might have to put it on first. It's not showing up.
Yeah, well, unplug it. Put it in.
No. Oh, Jeremy.
Whatever.
Just go back to the whole thing. Just go up there and plug it. Go up there.
Yeah.
Put where it says phone. Up on the top where it's scenes. Go to scenes.
Oh yeah. I get you.
Hit that. Now go down to Michael's iPad. See.
Sorry, folks. Oh yeah, here we go.
Okay.
So this is my phone.
Don't play it yet. So
all right. So guys.
Get
we've
it
been
all.
talking about all of the negativity that has been people screaming on TikTok, people losing their effing minds. These are the people who were telling us how normal they were and how monsters that we were.
Right.
But here's just a glimpse at people on the other side of the world who have been watching everything that we've been seeing.
Right.
And this is how they feel about...
This is from Japan.
This is from Japan.
Got to watch this, people.
And
this is great.
This is what they feel about Trump getting in. Video's actually live show, folks. Sorry.
You'll get it. So this is people in Japan who are celebrating the Trump's what do you call it? Trump's victory. So Jeremy, you want to put the camera back to me while you putz around with that?
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, just put the camera right there. Jeremy, we have a live show here. Thank you, Jeremy. So
the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the authors. I can't see it. That's why.
Jeremy, we have to get Jeremy new glasses. You're killing me here. Yeah, so anyway, we have Jeremy is trying to get the YouTube video for the Japanese. Anyway, I think that the rest of the world has have a sigh of relief. Everybody was worried about what was going to happen in the world. I'm hoping that now Trump could end this war with Ukraine and Russia, as end the war with what do you call it? Israel. I know it's a lot of people are doubtful, and it's a very complicated scenario. But to me, that's going to be the most important thing. Yeah. And but people around the world, don't you think that they were holding their breath? And and again, Trump talks about peace, liberty, justice. You got it now, Jeremy?
Yeah, I got it now.
Okay, so we're gonna watch this. Go to this here.
Here we go. This is Japan, on the other side of the world. Oh wait, no, this is everybody from Japan coming to Pennsylvania. That's how important this was today.
So these are American Japanese citizens.
People who are visiting to celebrate.
Festival in this critical year of 2024. It is an absolute honor to be in the presence of all the American veterans.
You should have done captions.
Yeah.
You can't understand what they're saying.
We would like to perform 3 songs for you.
It's too late now. Oh, what do you have here? Look at our reply. Oh, wow. Just leave it alone, Jeremy. It's fun. Wow. So people on Instagram, people on Spotify, you have lower that a little bit, Jeremy. You have people. It takes other people from other countries for us to maybe realize how special this place is.
This is the Japanese choir performance. They're all wearing MAGA hats. They're waving American flags. They are so proud and excited that Trump got in. This is some positivity instead of the negativity you see on TikTok. Look at these people.
You know what? I hope that
world is going to change.
I hope every one of the citizens, and I would invite them to this country with open arms. All right, John, you can put back to me.
The views and opinions expressed on
one. All right, so anyway, that was good. So that was in, I wonder if they're citizens or not. So that was in Pennsylvania. But across the world.
No, it says it's from Japan.
Oh, maybe they're visiting.
They came here to do that.
So that's an important thing to understand. Jeremy, go back to where instead of iPhone, put my
No, I see what you mean.
No. But you got to go down here. You got to get the.
I know.
Yeah. So Jeremy's going to put this. We're not going to do it right yet. Hang on, Jeremy. So we have another. We're going to do another thing. So anyway, that is just important. How the rest of the world, and I think that.
But doesn't that put something in your heart, man? That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I think what it should show. It shows me what it does for me is actually shows that we don't realize how friggin' good we have it here and how close we came to giving it away. Right. Because I can tell you right now, that was a fork in the road. That was a proverbial. We could have went either way on that, and I could tell you. Thank God, the American public. I have so much faith in the American public right now, and I reject this that it was racist, that we're racist, that white supremacy. Somebody said the world. You know what they said? It just showed the world. The world is because Trump got in, everybody's happy about it. The world is a bunch of white supremacists. How many white supremacists are in India? Really?
I wouldn't imagine many. Yeah.
These people are, I think it's time for us to say enough is enough. Yeah. We're not, this is in George Orwell's 1984, okay? There's Winston, who's the individual there. The state would go up to Winston and say, how many fingers am I holding up, Winston? How am I holding them up, Jeremy? 4. And the state would say, no, I'm holding up 5. And then they would torture you. And they would beat you until you got to the point you said 5.
You know where they got that kind of behavior from? The Merchant of Venice. He did the same thing to his.
Right, and it's part. It's been around.
No, not the Merchant of Venice.
No, but it's communism. Yeah, but don't go down that. But follow the thought here. What it is, Jeremy.
Taming of the Shrew. Right.
What it is trying to tell people something. It's trying to tell them an untruth and make it as true. Yeah. Like you could get and have a baby. You, Jeremy. It's not going to happen. Okay. So we rejected this bullshit premise. Anyway, I want to give you one. Let's do one more Trump. This is another Trump. This says this is Trump's new day 1 national security plan. Okay. So let's hit this one. Just go here. Just listen to this. Let me go full bore here. Hang on. You ready?
Yep.
All right. You got the thing? Okay.
Yeah. All of the other crime that's taking place.
Hang on.
Our country is being poisoned from within by the drugs and by all of the other crime that's taking place. The drug cartels are waging war in America, and it's now time for America to wage war on the cartels. In this war, Joe Biden has sided against the United States and with the cartels. They are making more money than they've ever made before, times 10. There's never been anything like it. They're major companies. They're bigger than even some of our biggest companies. Biden's open border policies are a deadly betrayal of our nation. When I am president, it will be the policy of the United States to take down the cartels, just as we took down ISIS and the ISIS caliphate, and just as, unlike the situation we're in today, we had a very strong border, the strongest border, in fact, in the history of our country, and drugs were at a low of 45 years. There's been nothing like what we did just 2 years ago. We will show no mercy on the cartels. Every day, drug traffickers are using the waters of our region to ship their lethal poisons to America, killing so many of our people and ruining families. In addition to restoring strong border security, I will deploy all necessary military assets, including the U.S. Navy, to impose the full naval embargo on the cartels. I did that before, and it worked. What we did was incredible. We will guarantee that the waters of the Western Hemisphere are not used to traffic illicit drugs to our country. Furthermore, I will order the Department of Defense to make appropriate use of special forces, cyber warfare, and other overt and covert actions to inflict maximum damage on cartel leadership, infrastructure, and operations. I will designate the major cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. We will sever their access to global financial systems. I will also work to forge an unprecedented partnership with neighboring governments in our region, just like I did in Mexico.
He just basically said,
and remember,
ISIS,
in Mexico alone, an estimated 100,000 civilians have
He's
been
gonna send those
tragically
guys
murdered
down
or
there.
gone missing
Holy
at
moly!
the hands
If I-
of these cartels.
Yeah, oh, if I was
the
them,
Mexican government,
and who's going to
run
come?
by
you know,
a very
now,
fine
Russia
man,
or
the
China's going to
president,
help them? Nah,
is
I think it's
really
done.
working hard.
Holy moly!
But it's not working out. These cartels are vicious and they're violent,
You could get
and
me.
they
Go
have
back to my,
Mexico for
camera.
now
Go back to my
stymied.
camera right there.
But we have to help.
You know,
Holy moly! So wait, let's just dissect that. Hang on, let's just talk about that real quick. What he just said is first of all, the fentanyl in this country.
Yeah.
When Barack Obama was here, it was heroin and it was fentanyl. It was people say it was the doctors with the Percocet. They crushed it. That was no more. And so it kept on getting worse and worse. When Trump got in, he knocked it down. It was with Barack Obama was going up to 60, 70,000 a year. When Trump got in, it went down back to maybe 50, 40, something like that. Again, the numbers doesn't matter. It went down. When Biden got in, it skyrocketed. There was and that's because the borders were open. Listen to what I'm telling you. The borders were open and the drugs flowed in from the border. That fentanyl is made in China. It's distributed to Mexico, and they're bringing it up here. And I can tell you right now, I don't give a rat's ass. Mexico is complicit with this. Over 150,000 people died in this country every year from drug overdoses. Probably more. We don't even know. That's been going on for 3 years. 300,000 of our citizens. That's ridiculous. Yeah. I can tell you right now, I'm all for this. And the special forces, think about being I would tell you what, if I was those guys, either they're going to run there's nowhere to hide. If he's going to designate them as terrorists, go talk to ISIS people. Right. They got drones. They're going to send, how easy is it going to be? Drones go down? Oh, my God.
And Putin? All right, Putin doesn't want to get into a war with Donald Trump involved.
No.
He does not want that.
No, he
knows how crazy that son of a bitch is. And that's why he immediately calls to congratulate him. Hey, what's up? What's up?
Yeah, he wants peace. Listen,
nice. I'm happy you're back.
And you know what's interesting about that? Correlate that into who he just threw off. He's not going to have in his staff. Is Nikki Haley and Pompeo, who are two, supposedly war hawks. Yeah. He basically, you see it on the internet. He says, "Sorry, but not sorry.
Not sorry.
Go work somewhere else." Yeah. I can tell you, he's got. Now, how much is he going to be able to do? He could do that as, for commander in chief. He could do that. I think the borders are going to be closed. I think that once the borders are closed and they start going after, Mexico and all the other countries there, the cartels, that's going to be an interesting dynamic with regard to people going back down there, because Mexico now is going to have to make a big decision. Yeah. They're going to have to either, because I think the Mexican government, again, I don't know the politics there, but I'm very sure, the cartels are very powerful. If you go look at Colombia and how Pablo Escobar was, how powerful. I mean, he ran that country. He actually knocked down a commercial airliner with people in it just to kill one guy.
Jeez.
We knocked him out. We sent special forces down there with the Colombian government. Now I hear Colombia is a pretty nice place. It's relatively safe.
It's a lot better now. They got rid of all these people.
Right. But you can't. We always say this: without justice, you have anarchy. And the next thing after anarchy is vigilantism. Now, those other countries, like a lot of people down here, it's just the cartels at the cartels. But, you in this country, it's going to be different because people have so many guns and everything. So thank God, what has happened in this country now is that, I think there's going to be justice. And we need that. Not revenge. Not
no, it'll be seen as revenge from the other side, but it's not revenge. This is just consequences for people's actions. That's it. They wanted to have no consequences, but they wanted all of us to suffer them. And that's we pushed them out. Eventually, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
you're right. You keep jamming what your version of freedom is down our throat, but we're still seeing inflation. We're still seeing prices going up through the roof and all that. Even while you're saying that this is a record historical time, that inflation has been the lowest it's been in 30 years and all of that.
Not in my town.
It's all lies and bullshit. I mean, I've enjoyed over the last couple of days people like Jen Psaki losing her effing mind on air.
Good.
You know, I just can't wait to look into the face of Karine Jean-Pierre. She has been lying to the American people all through COVID, everything. I think in large part, her voice was very dangerous, and it hurt a lot of people, and I mean deaths. Okay, she was lying constantly. That whole thing about Biden. When did they all of a sudden discover that
senility?
Yeah,
Parkinson's.
When did that come up? Because you told us right up to the fucking nail that he's strong, he's powerful. Yeah. Why would you have to feel you had to say that?
Well, you know, Jeremy,
if you knew, you know.
Right. You know, if you go look back at the stuff that went down, I have my sling on here. Yeah. If you go look what happened, go look at Nazi Germany. You know, it's pretty interesting. They all called, you know, Trump and Nazi, which is another disgusting thing that they use. But
but we can't use that word.
No, but the people in Germany bought into the whole bullshit. If you looked at the people who were in the camps, in the extermination camps, you know what they said? I was just doing my job. Yeah. You know what? So these people were going to say, well, we were just doing our job. I think in the post-mortem of what went down in this country in the past, I think it started with Barack Obama, actually, because a lot of people talk about Barack Obama, so that he weaponized the IRS and other things. So you're thinking about, you're talking Trump tried to move it around, so it's 8 years there. You know, Trump, it was still, they went after Trump, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years. Think about it. You had 8 years of Barack Obama, which it started going bad then. Trump's time, you know, the executive branch, everybody under Trump, they didn't want to listen to him, which is bullshit. I mean, you know,
he got a ration of shit the entire way.
Right, and that's and then now you had this guy. So we've had enough of it. And I want to make another point. What he's going to change also. I was listening to Vivek Ramaswamy, and here's the thing: you have three branches of government. You have the judicial, you know, the judges, Supreme Court judge. You have the Congress and Senate, and then you have the executive branch, which is the president and all of the departments underneath him. Department of Labor, Department of Security, FBI, CIA, all of that. And you know what? They're supposed to be subservient to the president. Yeah. And so what's going to happen, I'm hoping, is that deep state, whatever you want to call it, all of those unelected bureaucrats who are making rules and regulations and do what they want to do are friggin' out of there. Yeah. It's going to be a battle. But there's, you know, it's about 2-3 million.
The one thing we must have, though, as the people, is the transparency so we can witness that.
Yes.
Happening.
Yes.
Because you can't just do it and we don't know. We want to see the actions and the consequences for everything that we suffered through over the last 4 years.
Yeah. So now we have to talk about some medicine here.
Oh, and I wanted to bring up, we were talking about the drugs coming over the border and all that.
Yeah.
But one of the hot words that you weren't allowed to say on YouTube was fentanyl. You couldn't even show an article with the word on it. They had to blur it out. Otherwise, their videos would be kicked.
Yeah.
Fentanyl.
Yeah.
What are you hiding?
Right.
Why didn't the rest of us see that? Wait, why? Why couldn't I speak about that?
Right. A lot of people couldn't say a lot of things. And
yet the other side thinks their freedom of speech is in danger now. Because it is. Their freedom of speech was bullshit.
No. Listen,
that was a completely different perspective to what we believe freedom of speech is.
What's going to be what freedom they're going to lose is the freedom to censor me. They could still say their bullshit. They could still, I'll support. They could still gaslight. They could still have delusional propaganda. They could still lie. They could still doublespeak. Go at
history.
it. They could do everything they want. That's called free speech. And you know what? I would be pissed off at Trump if he stopped that. But here's what they can't do. None of those people and the government should be allowed to censor me and what I say. Period.
You should be able to say,
period.
This is it. This is it, Mike. Are you ready? You should be able to say anything you want.
Well,
okay. Well, hold on a second.
Not violence.
Within reason. Okay.
Yeah. At time,
you should be able to
place,
say
and
what
matter,
you want,
and not slander, and not violent. Stuff like that.
Yeah, you should be able to say what you want, and if other people don't like it,
don't listen.
Or they have the right to say, Oh,
right.
F you, you know, and that's fine.
Right. How about this?
That's how America was when I was young. It
Here's
was
the thing.
beautiful.
You have the First Amendment. Let's just follow the First Amendment. First Amendment is and there's been cases that have been settled. You know, and again, you can modify for free speech by time, place, and manner. You can modify it, and also, you know, you can't threaten somebody. You know, you can't like yell like, "Oh, there's a fire in a crowded movie theater." There are some limits, but with regard to content, if I say that ivermectin, in my opinion, as a doctor, works, or I got experience with it, you can't shut me down for that. You could come back and say, "Well, Dr. Kachmar, we have articles here that disagree with you." That's how you.
For every
advance.
article you find that disagrees with you, you're going to find 10 more that agree with you.
Right. How do you shut me off? And the other thing too is,
but that it all winds down to someone's deciding what's true and what's not.
right, and that's
who
bullshit.
was it?
Right.
Who the fuck was
Well,
it?
we'll find out. The other thing that needs to be dealt with is this lawfare, this weaponizing of the government. It started with Barack Obama, and you know, and it was.
So these are the protections that I was talking about our last show. When we had a big argument, you know. This is what I was thinking about. Something in the air that can protect our freedoms so they cannot be abused again. And this is what's going to happen now. This is what I was hoping for, is something like this. So the shit that we just went through in the last 4 years does not repeat.
Well, I think that, I don't know how you're going to stop it, say, like 20 years from now, if you get another, communist, you talk about dictator, communist, president. Yeah. I think that...
if he makes the world the way we all hope he will, right, the people aren't going to want to lose it again.
Right. Well,
they're not going to.
So I'm going to make a prediction, really put these people over the edge, okay?
Right,
here's my prediction now. This is the
You're
big...
You're going to trigger some people now, right?
Well, here's the thing. Trump's going to be in, unless they, I hope they don't try to do something. They may, but let's just say, and I hope he gets really good security because these people out there are crazy.
Oh,
let's just say he gets to 4 years and the country really cranks and does very well. Yeah. There's a really good chance that, and the midterms, we don't lose the House. And Trump is very successful. You're going to have either J.D. Vance or DeSantis or somebody who's going to continue on with this MAGA Republican policies. Somewhere along the line, you're going to need some more justices. I don't know if it's this 4 years or 10 years. But they're I forget how old they are, but and I wish they lived to be healthy individuals. I love every one of them, even all of them. These are very brilliant people trying to do a hard job, and I appreciate all of them. And I would never, especially Clarence Thomas. I mean, that guy. I watched it. That guy is amazing individual. Yeah. But having said that, we get some more conservative justices because the court has been liberal for 60, 70 years. It's conservative now.
Can he get rid of judges?
No.
Trump?
No.
So that woman,
not Supreme Court justices.
That woman that doesn't know what a woman is.
No.
She's in there. Get rid of her?
No. But what you can do, is if somebody passes away or retires, and there's a Senate that's Republican and the president's Republican, and conservative. It's conservative. We could get more conservative justices in there. That will change the tenor of this country for the next 50, 60 years. Do you understand? Yeah. That's important. And the reason why I say that, just now, Trump has the ability. What's different now than it was when Trump in 2016? The Supreme Court had two very vital and substantial decisions. One was the Chevron deference case, which means if it's a toss-up between government regulations and the private sector, right? The government gets to pass. In other words, the government, you'll bias towards the government. That's done.
Yeah.
That's done. That's big. So now, I go to court and, I got water on my land. The EPA is trying to bust my balls. Well, it's going to be on the merit now. And if it's on the middle of the run, it's going to go either one way or the other. It's not going to be biased towards the state. The other thing that was adjudicated was a case with West Virginia or Virginia. I think it was West Virginia versus EPA. And the court came back and says, no, the EPA is not a legislative body. it's under the it's under the executive branch, and these are bureaucrats who are non-elected bureaucrats cannot make law. That's huge. Yeah. So they kicked it back.
I loved hearing that, getting rid of those bureaucrats and all of that. That's what we need
But
to
now,
do.
but here's the thing, though. If you didn't have conservative justices, you wouldn't have had those two decisions. Now you have Trump, who's the president of the United States, who's going to try to reduce the amount of government, especially in the executive branch, and maybe federalize it and say, like the Department of Education, close it down, let the states have it. It couldn't happen. So we're in you know what's happening? The stars are lining up. God's lining up. And let's not forget that this country is, like I said, this country is based on Christian, Jewish, look.
In God we trust.
In God, can we see? We had a technical difficulty here.
Yeah, it happens, folks.
And we're gonna end the show. But I want to make one point, if we're still on here, that Trump was shot and they didn't kill him, and that's an amazing thing. And so that's something that you have to really take in consideration. So
some people think that moment where he shot back up with his fist in the air made him the president. You know?
Oh yeah.
He won it then.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at everything here. We have I think I don't know where we're at. I think we're still on YouTube. Anyway, I just want to make one other thing. Let's finish this up, Jeremy, because here's the thing. I wanted to make one thing about some medicine here. We should talk about a little medicine. I'm sorry, everybody. We're a live podcast here, and we have issues sometimes. So here is here's an article which is interesting, because you talk about ramifications and what's going to happen with this open border. And they just had the border czar was asked, are you going to separate families? He goes, no, we don't have to. We're going to send them all back. Kids and parents and everything, which sounds cruel, but here's an article right here, and I want to go over it real quick. It says the Biden-Harris open border is inviting yet another horror, tuberculosis. Okay, so my premise has been that all these people coming up here, a lot of them, they're criminals, but a lot of them are nice people, but they're sick. They have diabetes. They have tuberculosis.
Do we have a cure for tuberculosis?
No, there's no. Well, no. You could take medication, but we don't have vaccines in this country for tuberculosis. So everybody's
a pill.
No, once you get it, you have to be treated for it. So we're all susceptible to it. Most of us don't have any natural immunity, or we're exposed to it, and we don't have a vaccine. They do it in Europe, but here's the numbers.
This is Doc Holliday died.
Reported cases of tuberculosis shot up 34%. From 2020 to 2023. Per the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
What are the Democrats?
Wait. Follow the science. Where's
Fauci?
Where's Dr. Fauci? Let's get him on.
I'm telling you.
No, they're going to go after him.
They have to
go
after him.
I can tell you right now.
They have to.
Yeah, he's going to be investigated up the ass.
You know how we were screaming about all of those retirement homes and the people in them?
Right.
It was all effing him.
So listen, the tuberculosis incident rate is 60 times higher in Haiti than in the United States. Listen to what I just said. Who's eating the cats?
Yeah.
Listen to what I say. Listen to me again. And also AIDS, but that's another whole issue. Tuberculosis incidence rates is 60 times higher in Haiti than the United States. How many Haitians came to the United States? And if they had tuberculosis, were they cleared? Were they vetted?
Yeah, that's right.
Were they treated? I don't know.
Catch and release.
Catch and release. In New York City,
no questions asked.
In New York City, the number one destination for migrants. New York City, which is the number one destination for migrants, the incidence of tuberculosis is 2.5 times the national average and rising. So all my fellow liberals who voted for Harris and voted for Biden, when you're in the subway or walking along the streets and somebody's coughing, you might get tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Kumbaya. Have fun. That's why I'm not going to New York City. Not for a long, and I haven't. The last time I went...
Fuck New York and fuck California.
Philly. I would not go to Philly.
Philly. Oh, my God.
Here you go. A staggering 89% of TB patients, tuberculosis patients, in the Big Apple are foreign born. Let me repeat that. 89% of the tuberculosis patients in the Big Apple are foreign-born. Let's see when they start. That's going to change because the people who are living in New York are going to start catching it. The Flushing / Clearview areas of Queens, Sunset Park, Brooklyn, and the Lower East Side of Manhattan are the neighborhoods most effective. Great. Mm-hmm. Great. And, let me see. TB is no laughing matter. Globally, it has just overtaken COVID-19 as the biggest infectious disease killer on Earth. So tuberculosis could kill you. There is no effective vaccine for it, but most cases can be treated with antibiotics if they're taken daily without interruption for several months or longer. Not easy. So you're going to get these immigrants who, good luck.
Is it catchable?
Yes, it's highly.
It's catchy?
You could cough and you get it. I cough and you breathe it. You get it. It's highly.
In all the westerns I saw about Doc Holliday having tuberculosis and all of that, he was surrounded by Wyatt Earp and all of these guys, and none of them caught it.
Right. So Western Europe, Scandinavia, and North America are all reporting raising TB rates as migrants from poor countries where tuberculosis is common arise. British health authorities are alerting the public to the distinguished cough that comes with TB, and public health authorities throughout Europe are engaged in a lively debate about how to affordably screen TB carriers and keep them from infecting local population. Some can carry latent TB for years and then suddenly, after resettling in a new country, develop an active and highly contagious case, spreading it by coughing and sneezing. 6 foot. I got to recommend, let's ask Fauci, should we stay 6 foot away from an illegal immigrant?
Right.
6 foot, what do you think? Yeah, should we say that?
Sounds good.
Yeah. How about they all wear masks? Should we make them wear masks?
Oh, they would have to, though.
Maybe we should. Maybe we have to wear masks, not for COVID, but TB. Here you go. But in the United States, the mission-confused CDC is stressing health equality over preservation and public education and rushing resources to the disproportionately affected groups. That's fine, but how about shielding Americans from the reemerging of the disease we have largely eliminated? So in all the agency's reports, not a word about what's causing the surge in TB, quote unquote, an open border. Anyway, so let's deport everybody who has tuberculosis. How about that? Let's start with criminals.
Let's deport everybody that came here
illegally. Oh, no, you can't do that, Jeremy. Go back to me. Go back to me. Go back to me.
We open up.
Here, I'll go back to me. Here,
we open up Ellis Island and somewhere over in the West Coast.
Right.
And these are the places where people come through into our country.
Yeah.
And that's that. No south, no north.
Yeah.
Just east and west. You want to come in? That's how you do it. You want to come in legally? Ellis Island's all set up for that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's still all set up. So, hey, let's utilize it.
Yeah, let me listen here. This you got to listen to this one here. I forgot. Mm-hmm. I want to just make a good point. Let me get right here. So right here I'm reading. Our immigration laws do provide a mechanism to halt this dangerous disease. Immigrants who enter the country legally and apply for a green card are screened for TB with the IGRA blood test. Latent carriers aren't barred from the United States. They're allowed into the country and referred to a local health department for follow-up. That's legally. It's voluntary and hit and miss, but better than nothing. That's not even good. Most countries will not. When my grandfather came here from the Ukraine, Russia, Ellis Island, if you were sick, they sent you back. Or you had to go into an infirmary.
Right.
Okay?
They were very particular. I mean, because they wanted to protect their people.
So migrants flooding across the border illegally or entering with Biden's online parole app. Did you hear about that? The app they have? Did you know about that?
No.
Let me get no screening. Zip. The CDC is MIA, doing nothing to screen and isolate the infected before they bring tuberculosis to cities and towns across the country. The agency is forgetting its control and prevention mission. And it goes on here. It goes on and on about all these cases. I don't want to bore you, but so you didn't know about this, Jeremy? Let me, because we got to talk about this. Oh my God, I got to educate you. So here's the thing. It's called the Parole app. So listen to this. There's an app that the Biden government has had. If you're in Mexico or wherever you are, you go on your phone, your iPhone, and you pick up the app. You apply for it. You get an okay, and it lets you into the country. You got an app right in there, right in. No, that's it. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of came in. In fact, when they said the crossings were down, it's because they gave these people the app and they let them in. They were flying them in here, Jeremy, to different locations.
It almost makes you wonder why they needed the app at all. Just let them all in, right? I mean,
makes it easier. But yeah, we still got to matriculate them when they show up.
Okay. We use Ellis Island, right, on the East Coast. You know what we use on the West Coast?
What's that?
Alcatraz. Okay? We convert Alcatraz into a sorting place and have the people on the West Coast come in legally. No, that can work. That could work.
Let's just get them out of here. All right, listen, we did
no, I mean for the future of people coming in.
Right. I think what we did is we stopped the show, Jeremy, and we started up another one. Just want to let you know.
It doesn't matter.
So
people
anyway,
watch one and then the other.
All right, listen, we're gonna shut down. We're sorry. We got to get this better, Jeremy. We got to throw out a good product here. Anyway, I want to say goodbye to everyone. If anybody wants to this is Dr. Kachmar, Scrubbing Up with Dr. Michael Kachmar. We're here every week. Hopefully, we'll have a better show for you. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcast. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Rumble.
We did have
we're on everything.
Great solid hour. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yes.
Us celebrating the fact that Trump won.
Yeah. All right, Jeremy. Say goodbye to everyone.
All right. Take care, everybody.
See you next
God
week.
God bless you.